I had a person ask me the other day, they said, Peachy, I've been following a lot of your audios, and when you're talking about leveling up, you're talking about trying to keep all your accomplishments and try to keep your business to yourself. But when you got people that are close to you, it's kind of hard to do because they're always asking. Well, how do you respond to them without sounding nasty? So my question to them was, why are you worried about how they feel when they didn't worry about how you felt when you were going through your bullshit? I got crickets. You've got to be tough when it comes to your life sometimes. You got to be gangster. You got to be bold. And the last thing that you need to do is, if you're on the path of success, is sit there and worry about what every single little person has to think about you. Most of the people that are hating on you didn't have a vested interest in your situation anyway. These are the ones that turned tail when things got rough for you. You didn't hear hide or hair from them. And now that you're starting to come up, they want to start asking around you and asking about you. And, a few of them will be bold enough to come up to you and ask you straight up what's going on. So you're wondering when that person does come to you, or those people come to you and they ask you straight up what's going on. You want to know what to say without worrying about what they think. Say what's on your mind. Be respectful about it. But just say what's on your mind. Say, look, you didn't have a vested interest in me when I was struggling, so why are you asking questions now? Or if you want to be cordial and be nice and you're worried about being disrespectful, just very politely say, I'm doing well. My creative has allowed me to be here and be well. Thank you for asking, but everything's fine. And that's it. Now, if they start going into asking pointed questions, see, that's striking a nerve right there. See, people don't understand how their action or lack of action affects you. They don't get it. A lot of these people, like I said before in a previous audio, they're emotionally remedial. They don't have a clue about how to deal with people. They have piss poor listening skills. They're ineffective communicators. They have fractured relationships. And they want to be a part of your world. Sit down and figure out, if you've already found out what your purpose is and you're on a certain path right now, what place does this person have in your life with all these issues and problems? And have the nerve to be proud and arrogant about it. Do you really think a person like that needs to be part of your camp? And if the answer is no, then why are you worried about how they react to your response? Why are you worried about what they think? They're not your priority. The people who have a vested interest and willing to support you, they have more priority, blood or not. And that's the truth. Ask any successful person and they will tell you that they had to cut off some people that were close to them in order to get where they were, because they knew that that person was not on a wavelength that they were traveling on. And I'm going to tell you something. They'll try to use emotional blackmail on you. Oh, yes, they will. They'll sit there and dig into your past and pull out the nastiest things and throw it up in your face in an effort to bring you down so you could stop accomplishing what you need to accomplish. Now, tell me if that's not playground. That is such playground bullshit. They actually think that you're so emotionally fragile that you're going to fall for that. But little do they know, while they're using emotional blackmail on you, they forgot about the fact that you know a few things too. But see, you have a little bit more class and dignity that they have. So you won't resort to that because you know better. You're on a higher spiritual plane than they are. So you won't go to that level. See, you don't feel the need to go and trump it out to every single person within earshot about how this one person did you so wrong, and so wrong, so wrong, so wrong, years and years after the fact. And then when you're talking about it, you're not even telling the whole truth. You're not at that level. That's beneath you. And these people want to be a part of your life, and you worried about how they're going to react when you won't tell them anything? Come on. Shake it off, baby. Shake it off. There's going to be a lot of confused spirits that's going to be coming your way right now. I hate to tell you this. I know it sounds negative, but what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prepare you. Get all the stuff in the world, and if you're not emotionally equipped or spiritually strong, you can lose it all. You don't want that. So I'm trying to tell you about some of the odd and strange behaviors that are going to just come up out of the blue. There are going to be some times where you're going to wish you didn't. I was better off when I didn't have anything, because people get on your nerves so much. First of all, I'm trying to prepare you not to allow them to get on your nerves. I'm trying to help you develop a thick skin, because there were plenty of times from the time that I was a child, I was always told, ignore people, don't worry about them, blah, 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 blah. Doing all these crazy things to try to be accepted, performing negative behaviors just to get attention for years. And at the end of the day, and when the dust settled, wound up with nothing. Did it for what? And the same people that you were trying to impress, they still didn't get the message. They still didn't try to understand you. Still didn't give you the respect that you felt that you needed as a human being. Still didn't support you. And you jumping through all these hoops like a circus animal for what? Bottom line is this. If they didn't take the time to figure out why you were acting out, if they didn't take the time to figure out how you needed help when you needed it, if they didn't take the time to encourage you when you were down, then you ain't got to worry about them. What are you worried about their reaction for? They obviously didn't care about yours. I run into it all the time. I run into people I've known for years, some of them family members and stuff, and they're like, oh, well, where have you been all this time? I said to myself, you wouldn't even have to ask me that shit if you had to try to keep up with me. Asking me where I've been all this time. Where you been all this time? Sometimes, depending on who I'm talking to, it depends on my answer. So you got to gauge who you're talking to, because there's some people that are combative. And people who like to fight and argue, I don't fight and argue with them. I give them very simple 2 to 3 words, and that's it, and I walk away. But sometimes, people push your buttons. And I get it. There are plenty of times that I've done things, and before I got ready to say them, I'd be like, Lord, forgive me, but I got to do this to get this person out of my hair and off my back. And that's the truth. But you got to stand strong. I want you to be able to fulfill your purpose, do it to the best of your ability, have peace and love in your life. And you can't do it when you're sitting up here worrying about what other people think and worrying about how they're going to receive this, that, and other. As I mentioned in the previous audio, truly successful people don't have time to worry about if anybody's pissed off with them. They don't have time. Because those 1 or 2 people, they do not amount a hill of beans compared to the hundreds that you're helping right now, the thousands, the millions in some cases that you're helping right now. The numbers don't compare. So what are you worried about them for? Their issues are going to be their issues, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to drag you into their misery. You don't have time. So after I told my friend about this, I said, look, you ain't got time for that. Your purpose is bigger than that. What you worried about them, how they're going to respond to you? They didn't care about what you thought when you were going through your shit. I said, that's the questionable behavior that I'm trying to tell you about. And I said, that's not going to be the first time that's going to happen. I said, I'm not saying this to be negative. I'm saying this so you could be prepared. So you can keep what you got. And she's like, okay. I said, a thick skin, honey. You got to have a thick skin. So with that being said, I'm just relaying the message to you guys. You got to be ready spiritually. You got to be ready mentally. You got to stay sharp. You got to stay on your game. You got to do it.